Hello everyone, this is Noah Goldstein and I will be teaching you today how to make iron gall ink from scratch. To find an ingredient list for this recipe, I have them listed right above this video on the document, so just take a look before you get started. So, to get started with this recipe, the first thing you're going to need to do is take one of your oat galls, that's about 2 ounces, and make sure it is completely dried and hardened. Then take your mortar and pestle, or something like a grinder, something that can make a really fine dust, and crush the dried oat galls to a fine powder with this specific machine, and place that powder in a large old pot. You can see here by my crushing of the oat galls that it kind of does take a long time, so just stay patient, keep crushing, and eventually it will turn into the desired product. Now that you have your powder from the oat gall, it's time to move on to step 2, which is extremely easy. Just pour 2 cups of water onto the oat gall material, and you're going to let this soak for a day minimum. Okay, after 1 day minimum of waiting, you are now back and ready for step 3. Now you have a solution of gallic and tannic acid, which is combined from the oat gall and water. And the solution should be browner in color, not looking anything like ink yet. Now you're going to strain the solution through a coffee filter or fine cheesecloth into a clean glass container that's going to store your ink. If you are using some sort of cheesecloth, it is definitely going to take a good amount of time if you don't play with it, so I would suggest pouring a good amount of the solution in, taking the filter out, squeezing it a little bit, making sure that you're not squeezing it too hard, as if you did, then you would get some little crushed up rocks from your oat gall in the solution, and we don't want that. So just make sure you're being gentle with it, squeezing it carefully, and if it does take a long time, that's completely normal. Okay, so now you should have your finished product and it should look something like this. And for the next step we're going to do, this is when we start to see that it is actually black ink and it will turn into that very quickly. Now it is time to add the iron component, so the ferrous sulfate, and I got mine in the form of a crystal, so I needed to grind it up, and I just used the mortar pestle to do that as well. And as you can see, when I pour it in, the ink will start to darken and turn black immediately. So now moving on to step 5, you are now basically done. Your ink should be black, and now you are going to add your gum arabic to the solution, and what this does is it thickens the solution so that it becomes a little more ink-like. So these will come in the form of rocks, and you just need to add as much as you think and test it out to keep trying it, but there is no specific amount